Ladies and gentlemen, this will be below in the description section. And this is an NBC News article. When NBC News and CNN are talking about the Durham probe special counsel, you know they just can't, sweep this under the rug. They can't suppress or silence a story, especially with Elon Musk purchasing Twitter. The reason that morally superior, wonderful, liberal Democrats, beautiful, highly educated people are upset about Elon Musk purchasing Twitter is that they don't have a platform to suppress bad news about the Democratic Party. That's what the platform was used. Then they say, oh, horrible monsters are going to say terrible things. There are already laws protecting people. Okay? There are already laws protecting people. I went to the police and filed a police report on a Twitter account. Okay? So there are laws protecting people. Those laws, believe it or not, predate the creation of Twitter. But anyway, they don't want this topic. They don't want topics detrimental to the Democratic Party. Hunter's emails, the Durham probe special counsel, the fact that Trump was set up and framed by his direct political rivals. They don't want this out in the open. But now it's like a Pandora's box of criminality and corruption. So the Durham probe special counsel is finding out, peeling all the layers of this, finding out everything. This is an NBC News article that is very important, though. Tech exec used access to White House computers to look for dirt on Trump, says special counsel. Now, if this were the reverse, okay, and of course you have different cybersecurity experts on NBC News. Well, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that horrible of a thing. They can't admit. Former President Trump and his allies said the disclosure was proof that Trump was under surveillance while he was in office. You have this cognitive dissonance. The actual article is talking about the Durham probe saying that Trump was under surveillance while he was in the White House, and then NBC News goes, well, his supporters claim that this is proof of foul play. It's well, you just explained the foul play. But anyway, hit subscribe, by the way, to this channel. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel. Watch the segment prior to this one, ladies and gentlemen. I told everyone this was going to take place. It's going to take place. It's going to get a lot worse. The Dow was down 1,000 today. NASDAQ down over 500. It's going to get a lot worse. GDP contracting. Hit subscribe to the Stock Market Crash channel below in the pinned comment. Read my article in The Federalist I wrote last October predicting all of this. And hit subscribe to this channel as well, please. We're almost at 200,000 subs. This is an article from a couple weeks back, or a month back, but it's very important. Tech executive exploited his access to computer data at the White House to find derogatory information about President Donald Trump, a special counsel appointed during the Trump administration said in a court filing Friday. John Durham, appointed by Attorney General William Barr in 2020 to probe the origins of the Federal Bureau of FBI's investigation of Russia, said Tech Executive 1 used his access to domain name system, or DNS, data to compile information which computers and servers, the White House servers were communicating with. Okay. White House servers were breached by Trump's direct political rivals. This is a fact. This would never be allowed by any administration. And the filing does not specify whether any of the data collection occurred while Trump was in office. That's not true. The Michael Sussman indictment says that the data was obtained in February of 2017. Trump was already in the Oval Office. And so the interesting thing is about Tech Executive 1 is the following. And his name is public record, but I won't. Tech Executive 1 utilized an existing contract. And In a statement for a Tech Executive One, contrary to the allegations in the special counsel's recent filings, Tech Executive One is an apolitical internet security expert. Yeah, right. He was literally working with Michael Sussman, who was paid by Clinton and the Democratic Party. And who worked for a law firm that helped obtain the Steele dossier, and helped create the absurd allegations that Trump was communicating with a secret server, and who legally provided access to DNS data obtained from a private client that separately was provided DNS services to the executive office of the president. Who legally provided access to DNS data obtained from a private client that separately was providing DNS services? No. If you're working with anyone, or if in any way, shape, or form you are, distorting an existing contract or manipulating in some manner an existing contract that President Obama's White House had for tech executives or researchers to obtain information, if you are distorting that contract, so the rebuttal is, well, there was an existing contract, but the contract did not state that information on Trump could be utilized by people literally paid, who were literally being paid by Clinton and the Democratic Party to obtain information on him. So this is an interesting thing. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because Tech Executive One is being investigated for criminal conduct by the Durham Probe Special Counsel. Michael Sussman, everyone associated with these attorneys at that law firm will either be investigated and possibly indicted because they were committing, at best, shady, unethical, politically motivated, corrupt activity. At worst, they were breaking laws. And so you can't investigate an incoming president, and you can't you can't obtain information about about a president that's already entered the Oval Office, because there was a contract from President Obama's administration, his predecessor, and you are trying to manipulate or distort the contract and say, well, we already have the ability to obtain information or to engage in surveillance, so we're going to do that. But the contract doesn't say obtain information on Trump. In addition to that, the researchers who were working with Tech Executive One, their research was being funded by the Department of Defense. Okay? So you have researchers who were being funded by the Department of Defense, taxpayer dollars, ladies and gentlemen, utilized to engage in surveillance of an incoming President Trump by his direct political rivals. This is all, I'm not making anything up. It's within this NBC News article. If you read it any other way, then you're an imbecile, because it's just right there. And the interesting thing about this is that the tech executive is saying, well, he didn't do anything wrong. But if he didn't do anything wrong, how could he utilize the defense of, well, it's an existing contract? If you have a contract to paint someone's home, and then you write a dossier about the person, claiming that, the person is, whatever, cheating on their spouse or whatever. Well, what does that have to do with painting someone's home? That's maybe a bad analogy, but the point is, they used an existing contract during President Obama's administration to obtain access to the executive office of the presidency while Trump was in office. And the researchers, at a university in Georgia, a couple of universities, were being funded by the Defense Department. So you have taxpayer dollars, and you have the Clinton campaign and the DNC completely manipulating loyalists or, people who weren't smart enough within the U.S. government to just investigate Trump based upon absurd allegations that they literally conjured up, because they eventually found that there was no secret communication. Very quickly, there was no secret servers. It was actually Clinton who had servers with top secret intel. But again, she wasn't indicted because James Comey, Inspector Clouseau, couldn't find intent. And I want a Clinton-Trump rematch 2024. Believe me, I do. And I state that that's serious. You might think I'm nuts. But anyway, hit subscribe to this channel right now. That is a huge development that Durham is investigating. He's going to be indicting. And it's like somebody who worked to obtain that research while Trump was in office. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Thank you. And please go ahead and watch the segment prior to this one. It's